Hello there, my beautiful Sagittarius energies. Welcome to my Tarot Nook. How are you? I hope you're doing wonderful. Life has been treating you well. So this will be a quick tarot reading, checking in to see what is going on with you during the full moon phase that's taking place between August 19 and August 21, and more importantly, what would transpire beyond that. So we're digging in during this time frame. Today's August 20, and we'll see what comes up for you about this new moon and what transitions and changes beyond the new moon. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this readings. If you do give the video a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you're new. Welcome, of course, to everybody. All right. So we have the Eight of Cups here in reverse with the Knight of Wands and Hierophants here in the reverse. We also have the Knight of Cups, the Star in reverse with the Death card in reverse. And overall energy is the Seven of Cups here in reverse. All right, so we'll be basically looking into questions like what energies are amplified during this time, okay? And I'll look in and see what it is that you should be looking at, letting go of, releasing. Also where things or opportunities are going to be coming for you, from where, and what to pay attention to. How can you harness like your energy, so to speak, moving forward, things like that, okay? What lessons are here for you? Also, I'm going to be looking at it from a love out layer as well, so do keep that in mind. Alright, so with the Seven of Cups here showing up in the reverse, this is a Scorpio energy card. There could be a sense of feeling a little overwhelmed right now, too many options, lack of options, but choices, but also there's like illusions taking place. Somebody's being a little elusive, or we could have like illusions in the sense that we're seeing things for how we want them to be versus the reality that they are. Okay, some of you here, you might be coming in like through a sense of feeling where you're feeling like, you're feeling like a little lost, maybe kind of a little too much daydreaming taking place, but again, it could be just unrealistic expectations taking place either towards you or maybe you of yourself or towards a situation or a person right now, okay? But I feel like it's a message to kind of ground yourself at this time, all right? Be able to make like practical decisions so that you're not overwhelming. So practical is like the simplest way to get you through the day, through what you need to do, through whatever thoughts that are coming through versus and have it, kind of be a residual kind of obsessive thing. Okay, so there's that. I also feel like, it's really important for a lot of you to focus on like what's real rather than what's like fantasy, because for some of you, you could also be kind of being led down an elusive path, and you're not seeing things for what they are between you and somebody else right now. Okay, I do feel like there could be a period right now where also in terms of like romance, like in the past, like somebody could have romanticized and fantasized a lot. Your connection could have been on that level that there's just a little bit of a tough time letting go of some of those like experiences or memories, if you will. Okay. I feel like that, on the positive side, it just feels like with the sun showing up in reverse, it feels like, like you're ready to see things, and like you're ready to see your partnership, your relationships for more realistically versus like in a fantasy world, because you're kind of waking up to some things, even though you're not like noticing, things are just changing for you. Okay, with the Eight of Cups here, I feel like, the current strong energy, it's showing up in the reverse. It's a Pisces energy. Somebody is reluctant to move on from the past. Somebody's having a hard time. There could be some emotional investments still at play for some of you, or just an emotional situation that's being really tough to move on from. Could be some indications here of like, things not being truthful, faithful, or honest. All right. And I feel like, some of you there could be a feeling of the need to return to something here, something that you've left behind, or something But there's also like a sense of hesitation to kind of embrace something new on an emotional level. Like there's just you're like on some type of a spiritual journey here. Ever since something changed or somebody moved on or walked away, whether it's you or somebody else, it just feels like there's been a climb towards like a spiritual expansion, but it just also comes across like, it's still letting go. Part of the journey and the experience for some of you is the fact that you are awakening to the truths that you need to kind of process, accept, and move on from. So I feel like for a lot of you, the Eight of Cups in reverse comes in like as a kind of like a cleanse card during this time. All right, but I feel like you're also evaluating what truly fulfills you, right? So like it feels like the reflection is taking place, but it came through like through a certain like outcome, from like a certain outcome. Okay, like I feel like for a lot of you, there's an ex that's coming to mind. They may even be considering returning to the relationship, returning back. So it could be a you or them situation right now in terms of those feelings. But there's the positive thing here is like if this does like kind of reconnect, or if there's a reconnection, it could feel like there's with a new understanding, they'll have like you guys will have a new understanding basically, and a new appreciation for things, versus some of you just don't want to be stuck in the past. All right, let's look at what it is that you need to let go of here. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so, I mean, I feel like this is a card. Sometimes it's a card of impulsivity, impulsive actions and behaviors, or making hasty decisions. In terms of where you stand, Sagittarius, I feel like, you're basically known for your adventurous spirit. So I feel like during this time, releasing like the need to always be on the move, or perhaps the need to, like, go, 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 go. Maybe just kind of, start something like, like start something new without finishing old ones. Like it's okay to kind of be able to explore, kind of, put yourself in a place where you're looking at things passionately, from a place where like you're enjoying things. But it's just about the focus, okay? But even though you want to complete stuff, I feel like the message is also to kind of like allow yourself to let go of things that you can't control, but also have the patience and focus on the things that do need time, focus, and attention. And that could be also be turned inward, or even like in a relationship setting here. It just comes across like for a lot of you, there's a energy here that's in constant need for excitement. Okay, and so it just everything is based on that fire, that passion, that like sense of flair. But it also talks kind of like from a different perspective. It just feels like it can lead to boredom very quickly. So go, 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 do, change, 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 spend, 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 whatever. It just then what, and then what. So it just kind of feels like pacing is also necessary here, especially if you're kind of working your way towards somebody, or somebody's coming from the past working their way towards you. Like don't forget to also be able to pursue your passions, but also complete your own personal goals. That way, when you are starting actually new projects, even if you have things that are lingering from old projects, it's because it's because like you have a plan for it. Like it's not because you're just sitting on it and deliberately just kind of, so stay focused in that sense. I feel like the message is okay. So with the Hierophant in reverse, this is here like emerging opportunities, like I was mentioning at the beginning of reading. Those are things we'll be looking at for you. So this is a Taurus strong energy. It's showing up in reverse. But I feel like this is just talking about breaking from the traditional patterns of doing things, a pattern of doing, like how you approach people, how you approach things, how you think of yourself, and just perhaps, breaking away from like certain mindsets. Okay, so some of you, again, there's a spiritual path that's taking place here, through this Eight of Cups. It's bringing about a lot of awareness, a lot of cleansing of the soul is taking place a little bit. So I feel like with the Hierophant showing up in the reverse, there could be just kind of new opportunities for you coming through, but it could be like learning things in like non-conventional ways, like coming to realizations, awakening, expanding, ascending, if you will, some of you, upgrading, receiving downloads. So it could be anything. It could be based on your spiritual practices as well, But I feel like even in relationships, like again, if like we establish something and we kind of get back on track with somebody here, or somebody returns, and we have that opportunity to kind of start from like a new place of understanding, this card kind of complements that a little bit, because or looking at things that will be redefined. So they will be like, again, a different kind of understanding, hence new understanding, which is really, really cool. I don't know, with the Hierophant sometimes, there's always this like sense of fulfilling, like the sense of fulfilling partnerships. So it just feels like there's something going on with fulfilling and partnerships, and then the choices that are kind of complicated, that are bringing in kind of in disillusionment for some of you. Okay, so with the Knight of Cups here, in the center of the reading, I am just going with, in terms of the energy that you're bringing in, or that you're pulling in, or that's coming through towards you. This is an energy in terms of love. Like, I love it. It's bringing in emotional kind of openness in relationships for you and somebody. So perhaps emotionally, some of you could be a little kind of repressed, or your person, the person you care about, isn't more of an emotional connected person, but there's something here that's kind of the energy that's going to be pulling in for you, and this can kind of lead to like a deeper emotional connection with like romantic like gestures coming out of it, versus kind of wondering and thinking. You'll be able to see it. It's going to be heartfelt. You're going to be seeing it. You're going to be able to understand it. You're going to be able to observe it or notice it, like recognize it, like it's happening. But sometimes I feel like, again, going back to this whole like reality balance expectations, sometimes things can lead to disappointment. So sometimes the reality is not going to match the dream. So that's just like the one thing like we need to be reminded of when the Knight of Cups appears in terms of relationships here. But overall, in terms of the, things are moving forward for you with this. Again, you might want to just kind of, take a path, pursue something, and allow for yourself to be more emotionally connected to what it is that you're pursuing. And it could just be like, just being more romantic yourself, accepting romance if it's coming your way, being, empathetic, becoming more creative, whatever it is, just pursue it with that, like that, like, but like just that passion that you would have, that burst of happiness, and just kind of see where it takes you. Okay. The star is here in the reverse. And I'm looking at, just lessons from the past that we need to reflect on or move away from. Okay, I feel like, there's a time here where like past hopes or dreams might have been shattered or not fully realized for some of you. So I feel like this could be like about understanding that not all dreams come true and how we expect. And it's so wild. It's showing up in like the entire reading here. So it's just kind of like, hey, the universe is like, hey, we get it. We get it. Okay, we acknowledge this, but it is something you are experiencing, yes, and we're giving you a nod right now. And this is an Aquarius card showing up here. Okay, and I feel like there's still hope. Okay, but even though it's showing up in reverse, there's still hope. That's the card. That's the star card. It always brings hope. All right, but sometimes it's about learning. All right, and having like building resilience and finding new sources of inspiration. So I feel like this reading is kind of telling you in a roundabout way, hey, it's okay to refresh and reset yourself. It's okay. Give yourself permission to feel the things you want to feel, to do the things you want to do, because that's part of like kind of cleansing and healing, and reconnecting with your higher self, with your true self. The Death card is here. This is a Scorpio card, by the way. This is a Scorpio, Knight of Cups, Scorpio Libra card. We have Scorpio here. So we have a bunch of Scorpio, Pisces, all right, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. So the Death card is showing up here to close out this reading for you. I feel like in the reverse, this can, like, especially in relationships, it just kind of talks about potential for like somebody, yourself or somebody, is still dealing with like accepting change, or because there's like a resistance to change right now, but there's a transformation here that's also being resisted within like a relationship of some sort. It just feels like things that are like just moving slow in the reverse, so some type of an ending needs to kind of completely end, just because to have like the actual process of evolution, I guess, take place, if you will, in the relationship. But the positive here is that the partnership can grow into something again new, with a new path, with a new plan, with a new goals, objectives, something like that. Okay, but there's a reluctance here for a lot of you to address necessary changes, or it could be the person around you, not just you. So there's a lot of stagnation in that sense. But overall, I feel like the overall message from the universe for you here with the Death card, Sagittarius, is just kind of um accepting things for what they are, accepting the inevitable, and if something is just, if it's slow or not as dramatic as expected, like Like that's okay. Like not everything has to be. I feel like that's because, you know, there's a sense here to kind of, you know, like transformations, sometimes they can't absolutely happen in big bursts. They could sometimes, but sometimes they have to happen in small, manageable steps, you know, and I just kind of like understand that, you know, growth and change is a continuous process. So it's like, oh my gosh, well, I've changed. Yeah, but guess what? Like in 5 years, I'm going to change again. I'm going to change again. So it doesn't matter. Change is how you perceive it. Change is always positive when it's seen that way, and it's negative when it's seen that way. All right, beautiful Sagittarius, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you next time. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Like the video, subscribe if you have not, and I love you all. Bye.